after we went off air from last episode.
I love the idea that Otis has been working on this poster for like a long time.
Let me rephrase. Don't worry, Bird. We're going to get that 5,000 up to 1 million in 24 hours.
Somehow, I don't want to know how you're going to do that, but either
City
way,
will love us.
from this point,
Ooh.
y'all got 2 months, and we'll figure it out from there.
Cool.
Ooh, all right.
Oh, fantastic.
Quick question. Do you want to have any conversations in that kind of ethereal time that we haven't covered? Or do you want to like time skip directly to...
I think I'm going to get some bookings for people in other places, like as a stable. I was going to try to get us booked in like a slight, like if we've got 60 days before the next show, we got to eat. Like, I don't know how much people actually know about like kind of independent wrestling. A lot of independent wrestlers don't get to just go and work one company. Like, you have to work 3, 4, 5 companies. So like, if we're trying to be a stable, we're trying to blow up, we're trying to do all that type of stuff. Yeah, Memphis is going to be great as like our home territory, for lack of any better term. But like, we try to eat. So it's time to go book places, book other places. Like there's OVW, there's, GCW, if you can get a good booking there. Like there's all these smaller, really decent sized promotions that like, we've got 60 days. That sounds like 4 to 5 bookings that we can make. Like, so my goal would be to get us booked as a stable anywhere, including a small, like 60 days. That's a small Japanese tour if we could get one as well. Like, legitimately, it's where can we work for 60 days is my biggest go-to as kind of the person who's been around for a hot second.
I think Otis would be like, you think you can get us over in Japan?
I mean, I've done some tours in Japan. It depends on what creative tells me, but getting us booked in Japan is never a bad thing. Like, we can probably get a Noah or a DDT booking would be the go-to.
I feel like it would make sense for this particular promotion to have at least a talent exchange going on with DDT.
Sure.
DDT, well, why don't you describe DDT as a promotion?
DDT is what happens when you take comedy wrestling seriously. Like, that's the best way to put it. If you played a comedy wrestling promotion, but you played it like deadpan seriousness and put legitimately good workers. Like, the number of people who have passed through DDT and won championships in DDT are like legitimate big name people. Like Minoru Suzuki has won championships there. Hiromu Tamahashi has won championships there. Kenny Omega. Oh my God. What is Omega's? Used to be Golden Lovers. What is the tag team partner? Kota Ibushi won championships. So like a lot of really big talent goes through DDT, but they take the comedy of wrestling in that kind of proto-serious tone because the storylines are ridiculous.
Is that the one with like all the crazy outfits that I see coming from over? Like I see on just like TikTok shorts of like Japanese wrestling. Is it that crazy looking one? With the costumes?
Japanese wrestling outfits are definitely just big in and of themselves. Like, go watch a Joshi outfit. Like, Joshi fashion is a whole thing. This is way more like a broom has won one of their titles, but people are serious about the fact that the broom has won a title and it's a big deal.
Gotcha.
Like, a blow-up doll has won a title, but they don't play it up like, oh, it's just a blow-up doll. They play up the fact that this blow-up doll is a former champion and has brought prestige to this belt. Like, they play up the fact that, like, this is a ridiculous thing that has happened, but they play it straight. Like it's like the thing they're saying is absurd, but they're not acting like it's absurd.
Yeah,
I love that.
We need to go.
Yeah,
we need to go.
Yeah, we need to go work with them.
Like, they expect a level of work rate. Like, it's not like, you show up and do things half-assed. No, like, they expect you to work when you're there. So it is a great place, like, to get a group over or to engage, and they have a pretty decent internet like following. They're also owned by the same parent company as New Japan now, if I remember correctly. So I believe that is the case now.
Quincy, why haven't you done a TED Talk about wrestling yet for us on the as seen on Shark Tank?
Backdoor off the shelf promotion. Right in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Why haven't I done an off the shelf about wrestling? I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet. I'll think about it in the future. Maybe that might be a thing that happens.
I will definitely.
I could imagine you doing a history of Suzuki-gun really well.
Oh, God.
I could, because I love some Suzuki-gun with that.
With very little prep, I imagine.
Some prep. I actually don't have like the pre-Noah run. I don't know the pre-Noah run very well.
So,
but that's a whole other conversation. But yes, so
you would be doing some dates with DDT. I would say in 60 days, maybe a majority of that could be in Japan. Here's a question. Would Randall have any connections with a promotion that he's worked for himself that you would like to call on during that time?
While they're in Japan?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm thinking he probably has a promote. Like I know he did some I know he said he did some a Noah tour in his background. So like would probably call upon some Noah, because Noah doesn't really have a super big TV deal, but they have enough internet buzz right now and they're putting on good matches. And this is kind of in the time frame where everybody's kind of talking about Noah in a sense, but people aren't necessarily like. So I think Noah might be the go-to for that one.
Fair enough. So you've got work in a couple of different promotions while you're in Japan. Translates to you have enough to eat.
Yeah.
Love that.
We like that.
We're not broke.
We do stand eating healthily whenever possible in the indie wrestling scene.
No ramen tonight. Well, plenty of ramen.
Well, I mean, my goal is, if we're in Japan, is I'm going to get my sponsors to feed me and maybe get these folks some sponsors. So one of the things about Japanese wrestling culture versus American wrestling culture is, in Japan, you can effectively get sponsored, which is somebody basically paying for your meals and paying for your stuff while you're there. It's basically a fan type experience where these fans will pay for you, but you end up hanging out with them quite a bit.
Otis would love that.
That's
I
great.
imagine the first person to get sponsored might actually be Jack from the social media following.
Hey,
Yeah,
I won't say no. That'd be great.
I mean, he's big and tall. They would think he's probably a baseball player. And then they find out it's a wrestler. It's even better. I love it.
Yeah, don't make him play baseball. He can't. He probably can't.
You don't play the baseballs? Not the big baseball player?
All that
No.
axe swinging?
No, he can throw, he can hit, he just can't run.
Fair. Swinging an axe, not swinging a bat.
Like it is either a home run or it's not going anywhere. That's what we learned about the way.
Yeah, he's Big Poppy at that point. I love it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. So you do make it through the tour. I want to just get a gauge of how over you are in the process.
Ooh.
So I would like to everybody to make a 2d6 plus your audience roll.
2d6 plus my audience. Ooh, I got 3 audience. Forgot I did well. 12. I got 12. I don't know if that's good or not.
Nice.
Ooh, nice. 11.
Nice.
Okay.
I only got a 9.
Hey,
but that's okay.
fair enough. Otis, you do well enough in your tour to make a few contacts
Oh,
along the
sweet.
way. So you have the ability, if you would like, to go back to Japan on your own at some point, if you so choose.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh,
Go to Japan.
also, full success to Jack. Very popular, and using the connections that you have through your home promotion would be able to get booked again.
Sweet. Love
I
it.
do want to ask Paul,
Mhm.
what misstep does Randall make that makes him less likely to be booked in the future during this tour? Just a small misstep.
He probably spends his time making sure trying to take care of them rather than worry about himself. Randall relies on the fact that he's been to Japan before and knows his way and feels he can probably get booked again because he has relationships, and spends his time making sure that, like, you know, we don't accidentally like does Otis have tattoos? I made an assumption that Otis probably has some tattoos.
Yes, he does.
So, like, he makes sure Otis, like, doesn't go to places where having tattoos is going to get him in trouble, or, like, he ends up having to dad a lot. And I think that distracts him from trying to push himself.
Fair.
Honestly, I'm glad you said that. And you probably had to protect him from like certain bathhouses because on his back he does have a giant Oni mask.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
It's probably one of those situations where he's like, you should not do this thing. You should not do, and instead of like spending his time making sure he is in the spotlight, he is playing dad to the two. And like, and in his theory is what goes around comes around. They're in a stable now, so one of them will, when they go to do things, they'll make sure he gets booked. Because if they don't, he'll chew them out later at home. Like, that's
Very fair. Very fair.
like, I kept you from possibly getting stabbed, so you should make sure I get booked. Just saying.
The reciprocation of being in a wrestling stable. I understand that well. So, Age of Greatness returns, and you have a couple of conversations to be had. You also have some promoting to do in the Memphis area. I will leave it up to y'all if you would like to have the conversations for what's coming up, or if you would like to do the promotional material and then lead into that.
I feel conversations before promotion, but that's me. That doesn't have to be the way it is. Like,
No,
that's my go-to.
I feel
We
like
do the talk.
Yeah, I was going to agree with that. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with that in mind, there's a couple of conversations for you to have with your next opponents, and letting people know what's going on. The next opponent for Randall is Jordan Rodriguez. Him, a Latino wrestler. That he is billed as the Steel Pit Bull coming in from Pittsburgh.
Yep.
You are going to have a ranked match with him on the next internet show. Randall is. So you would have time to sit down with Jordan and know what's going on, what's up.
Cool. Is Jordan, how long has Jordan been in the business?
Jordan has been in a good 3 or 4 years out of wrestling school. So an up and coming wrestler that is looking to transition out of a strong home market to start touring around the country.
Okay. So Randall is going to make the assumption that he just got off his Japanese tour and we're in his home promotion, that he's going over. So his walk and talk will not be disrespectful, but his walk and talk will be based on the idea that he's going over because it's his home promotion.
Absolutely.
And he will want to make sure that his opponent looks strong. Does he wrestle? Does he wrestle like that Ishii style where he's like super? He's an Ishii stand-in. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are his kind of signature spots for his Ishii styling? And also, I assume he's and Randall will also be like, because his style doesn't lead to a submission victory, he assumes he's not going over with submission because this type of, he's like, don't need to go over with submission. I can go over with a pinfall because I'm looking to move up because we're pushing this thing with Don. Not that submitting makes you look weak. I'm known as a submission wrestler, but I can beat you off the pile driver because Suzuki beats people off the pile driver all the time, even though he also submits people all the time. But as one of his walk and talk is making sure how to incorporate things that are going to make him look as strong as possible during the course of the match. He wants to know what spots he wants to get in, what story he wants to tell. He also wants to know, because he also doesn't have to win off a pile driver. He's like, is this just a case of you getting out wrestled? Because that's also how people beat Ishii, is they just out technically wrestle Ishii because Ishii's a brawler.
That's fair. I think the big thing for Jordan, as he would be talking, is he hasn't submitted in his career thus far.
Yeah, I don't need a submission win over him. That's not important to him.
But he also doesn't want it to look like a fluke victory for you because you've got a big story coming up.
I think I want to go with the technical wrestling exchange, like at the end. I think they want to push the time limit. Like, one, he's going to make sure it's okay with Birdie, but they like it because I assume it's 20-minute minute ranked match.
Yeah,
like he wants to push in like minute 18, and like when that 2-minute warning comes up, I think the series of quick pins into a pinfall win is the way he wants to go over.
That makes complete sense.
Because that makes us both look pretty strong. You clearly did the distance with a local person who's known for being a technical wrestler, and you didn't lose off of anything that was like, oh, this, that, and the other thing. You lost off of, I just got the better of you in that 3 seconds because that's all it takes. It plays into that angle. And then the announce team can always play up the experience edge in that particular case, and it's not a big deal.
His response is, I think I can work with that. The biggest move that I like to hit in every match is doing a rolling German spot. As long as we can fit that in, I think that what you described sounds pretty good, especially since you've got the credentials. You've been
Let's really work that rolling German spot. Let's tease it 2 or 3 times if that's what you're known for. Because I'm known as a counter technical wrestler, there's no reason why I couldn't have gotten tape on you in story and whatever. And let's work towards that. Let's have me counter it 2 or 3 times, and then in a big moment, probably late in the match, maybe the 15-minute mark, hit it. Looks like it might be a win, and I'll even take the rope, like the foot on the rope break there. I think that'll look good rather than, because it's going to keep playing into this. I'm spending my time having more experience, knowing my positioning, beating you through intelligence, not through sheer overwhelming force.
I think that'll work for me. Yeah, I like that.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, I have to leave some, like, I'm good right now. I'm moving into kind of like my good years, but like people have to be able to come back later. It also makes for a better rematch if you're touring well, and you can definitely come back and get your win back, and we can do a best of 3 if it looks really good. Like, I'm all about that particular thing because we can always do that in another promotion, and that'll look good because people can call back to this. This is going to be on YouTube, so that promotion can tease what our second thing looks like depending on where we're at.
That's fair. I appreciate leaving the door open.
leaving the door open gets everybody paid more. Let's be real clear. Like,
It's what it's about.
mm-hmm.
Okay. On from that, let's move over. It's not your next opponent that we're talking to, Casey Booth Otis. It's who you're going to have a promo off with.
Gotcha.
And that is Alex Armstrong. They use they them pronouns. They are 6'7" and built heavy, like 265.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a similar high flying style to you. And it looks like if we're going all the way in the internet wrestling, the championship storyline, that they would be your final opponent.
Okay.
So, question about the Internet Championship blocking. Yeah. Is it a tournament point style block, or is it a single elimination bracket style tournament?
We're doing, it's a single elimination style bracket, yeah. But the special thing about it is they're actually releasing different matches from the rounds in between the live broadcasts that you all are doing.
Cool. I just figured I would ask. I didn't know if we were G1 in this, where everybody's going to wrestle everybody for points, or if it's a bracketed tournament like you see other places as well. They're both very interesting to do. I just didn't know which one we were doing.
Man, I would love to do a round robin tournament style format, but I don't think we've got the storytelling space for it, unfortunately.
Super fair.
And shout out to one of my favorite round robin style tournaments, the Wrestling World Cup, that no longer happens.
Oh. So,
but either way, Alex would be sitting there in the locker room. So it sounds like this is what we're going toward.
Yeah, from what Birdie says and what it's looking like, you and I are going to probably be end all be all unless somebody shows up more flashier than either one of us. But let's be honest, when you get two big guys jumping off top ropes all the time and doing backflips front it's pretty hard to be any more exciting than that.
Yeah. I like the idea of building toward it. I've been looking forward to getting in the ring with you.
Oh, absolutely. I've been hyped about it. I've been watching you for a minute, man. So this promotion, right? And he takes his glasses off. I'm thinking that it's gonna be me and the crew, our stable, coming out, and I'm gonna start. Like, you're gonna get the announcement, Birdie. Who's doing the announcement? Is it Birdie doing the announcement, or is it?
No, you haven't heard yet.
Nah, I just got back, man. Nah.
Oh, you're gonna love this. You remember Silas Jennings?
Yeah.
Silas just got hired by Birdie.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. He's going to be on screen. Like, they figured out everything. He's got an academy grad that's going to be like a heater for him. And he's coming out. The dude, he's like, he dwarfs me.
Jesus Christ.
But
all right.
Apparently, like, they had to get special equipment and everything because he can't do the ring steps. So they've got a platform that rises, and he's going to be coming out, introducing himself, and his first act as the Authority is going to be introducing the Internet Championship.
All right, so he's going to announce that and probably give nods to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what me and the crew think is that we come out, and I'll be like, nah, or like, we ain't gonna do this. I've been here X amount of years, and and then as I'm coming down, and eventually it's going to be almost like a boxing match. Eventually I'm going to get in there, and then I'm going to tell, if you're cool with this, I'm going to tell the boys after the end of my promo, right, to get you, right? Randall going to hit you in the knee with one of his technicals.
Yeah.
Our big guy, Lumber,
Yeah.
he gonna probably get you in the head a little bit, and then I'm gonna hit you off the top rope with my special.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I
really.
love that.
It was like, really dig that. I'm the heel, I'm the rival. I feel spiteful that I'm being overlooked type kind of thing. You know?
Oh, and I've seen that rope walk press you do.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I've done some rope walking in my day.
Yeah.
We're
Also,
gonna put on a show.
oh, it's gonna be awesome. And this gives you the angle of overcoming an injury. Right? That
That
knee,
makes sense.
you know,
Yeah.
get the crowd really on your favor. Because, you know, I've been kind of teetering on this anti-hero heel movement, and now this kind of moves me more into that heel bracket, seeing how we're going to be a heel stable. So it's like, this kind of moves me off of the baby face path for a while, which I'm okay with.
Fair. And if I understand right, Birdie said she's taken a look. Like she doesn't know which one of us is going to go over in the final yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you've getting good reactions, me getting good reactions. It'll be good for both of us, right?
Oh, yeah. And I'll be cool. I'm not going anywhere for a while, so we'll keep doing what we do, and may the best man win, all right?
Indeedy do.
So yeah, you got any other things you might want us to do? You want to try to get a smack in on me? Like how do you want to kick this off? Do you want me to be the aggressor, or do you want me to say something to get you to pop off on me, and then I'll be like, all right, well, get you then.
I think the best way we could start it off is you hit me with the words,
Mm-hmm.
I'll hit you with the headbutt.
Yeah. All right. Yep. I'm about that. It'll be all right. You just want these big old stretches. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna
And
enjoy it.
and my teacher said I would fail in showbiz.
Love that for you.
All right, man. Well, I gotta go be a problem for the city of Memphis now. And he gets up and he makes his way out the building.
And Alex is sitting there wondering what the hell that means.
Everybody's about to find out.
The last conversation I actually want to leave, and we're going to talk about it a little bit after the match that Jack has. We'll come back to that. But I will tell you who your opponent is going to be. It is Sam Spade Bowman from the Suits.
Let's go.
All right.
After having those conversations, we are going to go straight to you doing the marketing push.
Mm.
From what Birdie has told you so far, you have sold 1,500 tickets to the Coliseum show.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you'll be able to sell out the venue. It's 10,000 plus seats. But if you can build enough buzz, hopefully you'll be doing well by the end of
Is there a marketing role?
it. Well, there is the manager role.
Okay. I gotcha.
Speaking of which, there will be a manager that y'all encounter later but not today. Basically, it's you and the suits are getting ready to go out and push flyers.
Mm-hmm.
It is up to y'all how you want to break things down. The only person that's not there, you have Club, Troy Sarkeesian, you have Diamond Rob Stark, and you have Stacy Hart Roberts.
Okay.
And they are going out with you on this push. Sam is sticking back. But if you all want to walk together and talk stable plans, that's fine. If you want to mix it up and have conversations, that's good too. Whatever you feel like.
I mean, I'm about walking with him. Like, do we? Okay, so being new to wrestling, in the sense I'm knocking off what we see on screen versus what we see in back behind the screen are two different things. So, like, what is the relation between the suits and AOG right now? Like, are we friends? Like,
So
what's
yeah,
everybody's
that's
feelings?
fair. Good question, actually.
out of in real life, we're probably all super chill, as kind of hinted at the last episode. In storyline, we just beat them up, so probably not the best in kayfabe.
Yeah.
You know, friendly. The question is do we want to push, like, do we want to blur lines? Do we want to blur lines, and if we want to blur lines, where and how do we want to blur lines? Those are the
Bless you.
universal questions. Thank you. If we want to blur lines, the best place to blur those is like at a signing. People love that. It gives people who go to signings extra stuff. If we don't want to blur lines, whatever. But I think if we want to blur lines and we know Sam is about to wrestle Jack, then they should have a confrontation. You highlight them, pushes their match, gets more people in the building. That's my take on that particular situation.
So,
if that's
like,
what we want to do.
This would be Otis's suggestion, right? It's because I'll look at Randall's. Like, we have a marketing manager, right? Like at least a TikTok intern.
Yeah,
You do actually have a social media person for the promotion.
All right,
mm-hmm.
let's have our groups, if this is cool with you, Hart and the suits. Let's have us start on one side of downtown, and make our way other, and like have the social media person there, just kind of in the side corner, videotaping. Jesus, my age just came out. These children do not know what a videotape is.
What is
Filming.
this tape of video you speak of, sir?
Filming, and maybe like at a not a crosswalk, but like on the sidewalk, Jag and who's his opponent? I'm sorry.
Spade.
Y'all like shoulder check each other, and then you kind of get like chest bump each other, and then like me and Randall and Hart and Diamond, we separate you two, and then like, I don't know, smash cut to come to see how this ends, whatever social media stuff. Put a real cool song on it.
Yeah, we could do that. Again, like I said, like the real question is, the thing is, we could social media that, but we could also just start. I like the idea of starting on each side of town and getting the social media people to cover that. But if we could have basically end it at like, is there a signing event? Are people doing a signing event? Because that's always a universal question.
There is one signing event that is coming up that has been planned. That is actually one where it is not your typical event. You have a couple of cross promotional things happening. It's a social media convention, and Jack has been invited to that one.
I think that is the best place for them to have their confrontation, is at the social media event.
Well, then go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think that'll work better in the long run because, one, people who aren't actually involved in wrestling and don't have those types, like, aren't always great about sharing those types of opinions, will be there to share those types of opinions type situation.
Fair
Like,
enough.
they're going to put, like, all it takes is them to get into a confrontation in front of people who normally wouldn't promote us, to then they're putting more promotion eyes on us. And my go-to is, because Jack is not exactly known for his massive talking skills, is for him to get confronted maybe at the social media event, if Jack is down with that.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
Because then we can have the suit do that at the social media event, and yeah, I mean, it definitely, the go-to there is to make sure the local people, like the local like security, does the pull apart, and not anybody there, because it would be really awkward if you and I were at this random social media event that we shouldn't be at. So if you have local security pull them apart, you're going to get random people videotaping that anyway, and then that's going to get cross promoted. We can throw an easy hashtag on it in bios, and that puts more eyes on things anyway. And it also disputes that, oh, is it real argument that people like to have. Like, it helps in all those regards, at least in my opinion.
I'm about it.
As you say all of these things, Princess is the name of the social media manager, and she is getting down everything, just kind of like writing it down as you say it, like, this is gold. I love it. Absolutely.
There you go.
All right. Let's see.
So
Sounds
do we
good.
want to? So we're just gonna, if it's okay with, because I'll look at the suits. Because I'm assuming the suits are in this meeting as well.
Yeah.
I was like, are you guys cool with just being separate on the promotion track right now until that comes down?
That sounds fine with me. Talking from Stacy.
Mhm.
One thing, just to be in the clear about it, make sure it's not a big bump at the social media event, because yeah, just
Make sure it's not a what?
sounds worried
A
in
big
discussing it.
Sum up.
Just, and at this point, Sam is not in the room. I know Sam, he's gonna want to go like through a table or something, like
Yeah,
really make it over the top. And
it's a pull apart with the security of those people is the best thing to do, because that makes it look like they have legitimate heat, like outside of the Fed, because there's Sam. Because the thing is, we can get Sam there on an air quote ticket. Like, if Sam is there on an air quote ticket confronting somebody on a panel, it looks way different than, anything else they're going to be doing.
Fair. Yeah. That sounds doable.
And I don't think there needs to be any bumps. I think that just needs to be a big pull apart, like you'd have before, like an MMA fight.
Fair.
Yeah, but that's real, he says super sarcastically. We're fake. They always says.
But that's the point. It doesn't look that way at that point in time.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, how close do we want this altercation to get?
You in each other's faces, yelling, no bumps, but a pull apart. Make sure that the social media person gets in touch with the local security.
Yep, I'm on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thank you, Princess.
Oh, hey, Princess, I'll have another video for you for promotion here, probably in 24 hours.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's going to be great.
Are you going to be skydiving this time?
No, even better.
What could be better than this guy? Fire? Is there fire?
There's always
Possibly.
fire.
There's
Possibly.
always fire.
I don't know why I even ask at this point. I just
You're like, is there fire? Is the sky blue? Then there's going to be fire.
then there's gonna be fire.
Just don't break any fire codes.
I can promise you that I did get partial permission.
Partial.
Yeah, I don't know how that works either.
I don't know
will
anything
let you
about it.
explain it.
That's the extent. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, neither do we. That's why I'm worried.
I'll tell you how in a minute when we go on our promotion trip.
That's how I know I'm not legally responsible, because I know nothing about it.
He's learned. See, me and Randall's been working together for a while, for about 2-3 years. He learned that if I don't directly come to him, he can't get blamed.
Yeah, it's not my fault. I didn't do shit.
He can't yell at him.
I'm not. He is a grown person. I am not responsible for the actions he chooses to take or not take. Let's be abundantly clear there.
One thing that you do get is Troy, before you all separate, is going to pull Otis aside.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I wanted to thank you for doing me a solid. Couple of us are going to be out for time soon.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking I could pay you back with your first round going well.
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, what's out for time? Just as a clarification for me as a player.
Do what?
What's out for time? Yeah.
He is saying that there's some injury concerns. The suits have been going for a while.
Yeah.
And they're about due to take some time off, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
Some of them.
So when him and I go, he's gonna help me get my coming up. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, then I'll be like, hey man, I would have helped you either way, man. I appreciate you. You're a good wrestler.
Yeah. They say it's going to be like 9 months to a year that I'm going to have to be out. But when I come back, grudge match.
Oh, for sure. And hopefully by that time I have a belt on my chest.
I'd love to take it off you.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Shit.
And so the plan goes by. You are hanging up flyers, moving through the area. You are able to, at the end, get the social media video that you're working on. It sounds like you three are going together, though.
No, we're. It's just going to be Jack at his social media convention, because it looks, again, it plays in the idea that he's not with his stable. This is something he's doing not on wrestling time, and all of a sudden wrestling is invading this part of his life.
Fair. Okay. So,
and it also lets us say things later where we can be like, yeah, you had to go and interrupt this man's other activities because you couldn't hang when we were all around.
Fair enough.
Sounds like a punk made a punk and bitch.
So Otis and Randall be doing the flyers then.
Yeah,
correct. We can do the other things at the same point in time, or at least nearby.
Fair enough.
Oh, so these things are happening simultaneously. Basically, the posters and the social media campaign. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. At least close enough that like your social media thing yeah, like it feels that way. It could be totally wrong. That's up to creative.
No, I think that works just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're setting things up, are there any conversations that Otis and Randall want to have while you are hitting the pavement doing flyers?
I would let him know that me and I'm sorry, creative. What was his name again?
Oh,
My
Troy?
God, Troy, not Troy. The one I'm doing the smack talking to. I thought I started with an A.
Alex.
Alex. I'll let him know about Troy too. That Troy's going to help me go over, but also that everybody seems on board with. He's gonna hit me. I'm gonna hit him with the words. Then he's gonna hit me with a headbutt. The headbutt is a cue for you to get for you two to start. And then while I'm recovering, I'm gonna hit that rope. And once you guys get him down, I'll do my little salt drop on him, and then we walk out to my music. But we'll go in as the stable music, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Sounds good. Puts you over at the end. Makes all the sense in the world. Troy needing to take some time off because I know they've been going real hard. They've been going them real hard.
Yeah, he said about 9 months to a year.
Jeez.
No fun.
So, yeah. So he's
luckily there's a level of insurance, and that's better than it could be.
Yeah, but when he comes back, we're gonna have a grudge match, and I told him hopefully I have a belt, so that'll be helping him get back in, and it'll continue the story that I lose my internet belt to one of the suits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe it'll really depend. A lot changes in a year, so like.
You don't think Birdie would let him go in a year, would you?
I don't think it's not about Birdie letting him go. It's about if people remember. So like he's just got to stay on actually being active, like socially, even if he's not wrestling.
That's true.
The number one thing about fans is I don't want to say bad things about fans, but they're a little fickle sometimes.
Fair.
It's definitely not a matter of I don't think you guys couldn't have a great match. It's a matter of like are people going to remember in a year? When the answer is hopefully yes.
If anything, I'm sure we can do a build up for it because he deserves it. He's been going through some shit, privately, so he deserves to come up.
Yeah, no, it's cool. He's a great worker. I don't have anything against it. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure everyone's in the best position they're going to be with. And in a year, that is, I don't have anything against long-term booking. I think long-term booking is great. I think it's a good idea. The question is in a year, are the fans going to remember this happened in a year? That's the universal question.
I haven't.
Because what's up?
I was like, I'm sure y'all can think it. Between you, Birdie, and the social media person, I'm sure y'all can think of something
up. Sure.
Or, make the match stick.
What's up?
I said, or make the match stick.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just a pragmatist. I'm like, I'm hoping in a year we can throw like all it's going to take is one promo package and some good mic work, and we'll be fine. But who knows anymore? Like, ooh.
Fair.
There's one thing that you do remember when you're talking about Troy that it could be that Troy doesn't make it back because Troy's had knee problems before. And it could be with that length of time that we're talking about something like an ACL tear.
Ooh. I mean, he's been going through this with an ACL tear the whole time?
Happens.
Fucking hell. All right, so definitely no arm. All right, that got me thinking about the match now. I got to think on the promo tonight, but maybe I won't do as many high flyers in knee hits. I didn't know that.
No, that would be Troy. Alex would be who you're messing with tonight.
Alex is fine.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like for when me and Troy goes, I won't hit him, because you know how I like to attack knees and stuff with my kicks and stuff. Maybe I'll start moving further up the body to make sure I don't damage that knee no more for Troy.
And I'm thinking, actually, I'm rethinking that process. Because I just chose too great of an injury for that. It would be more like a meniscus tear.
So, well, no, but yeah, all right, cool. But yeah, that's all I got for you, man. So, we're not going to West Memphis, right? We're staying on this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on this side. As much as I love Arkansas, it's such a lovely place.
Oh yeah.
It is definitely one of those places you don't always need to go.
Nah, we good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to piss off the Grand Dragon this year.
I mean, I'm never mad pissing off those people. Let me be abundantly clear.
But yeah, I mean, that's about it. All right. So.
Okay. The social media video gets made in the midst of Memphis, and Jack, you were able to have your pull apart with Sam. Is there anything that you want to bring up that happens before or after at the social media convention? Anything of note?
Let's see. I'd probably do my best to slide in somewhere during the altercation that he doesn't know who he's messing with quite yet, as a hint that it's more than just Jack.
Fair.
Hit on points of, this is the start, see you in the ring. Just like a sleep with one eye open kind of thing, which is somewhat uncharacteristic, but more in line with he's starting to be influenced by the people that he's teaming up with. So nice. I'd say definitely dropping those messages.
Okay. Fair enough. One of the big things that you notice is there are several people filming, as expected, this particular altercation. Some of them appear to think that it's a real thing that's going on. Two people that are that tall also end up looking quite intimidating.
It's hard to miss.
Yeah. It's a total of 6 security guards that come in to break up the altercation before it gets too spicy.
Yeah, I don't think Jack's gonna fight security as much as Sam might, because I think he's gonna play it, he's confident that Sam can't do anything to him.
I will say that while this is going on, you recognize one of the security guards as somebody that is currently training in the academy.
Okay.
If you would like, you could hit a bump on him.
Tempting.
I'll leave it up to you.
I don't know if I would make contact, but I'd definitely give him a look. enough to know that I see you. I know where you're at. Maybe just a quick fake out in the face.
Sure.
But just enough to ignite something, to get that going. But yeah, not gonna do anything physical just yet.
Fair enough. You do recognize that based on this person's build, that once he's done training, he might be somebody in the heavyweight division.
Oh yeah, taking notes.
Now, with that, let me we will get to the night of the next show. As you get together, there's a palpable feeling backstage that something big is happening. And you see the man that is 7 foot tall, Silas Jennings. You see him coming through, being wheeled in by Johnny Burgess, who is the training student that is with him. Silas is a former wrestler, a former world champion, and everybody recognizes who he is. And that is where we are going to take our break. We'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes. And welcome back here on High Shelf Collective to Championship Wrestling Memphis. When we last left off, the show was about to start with a former world champion, Silas Jennings, a former 7-foot tall monster, now getting ready to take a different role as he's wheeled in by Johnny Burgess. Whenever the show starts, there's a very big generic guitar riff because this is a remade theme from a place where Silas used to work.
Mm.
As is often the case when you get retired wrestlers or people who switch companies. In this case, Silas comes down to the ring, wheeled by Burgess, and they have a platform that comes up. There's a moment's pause when Burgess steps on the platform as well, and the pneumatic lift just doesn't go. So Burgess steps off and it goes back up. Burgess himself is like 6'4", a good 260 pounds, but nowhere near the mass of humanity that is Silas Jennings.
Mhm.
There's a buzz in the arena as Silas gets in the center of the ring and is handed a microphone by Johnny. Silas says, "Well, I am thankful to be back here in my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee." Crowd erupts in applause. "Back at the lodge, I wish in my day there had been a place like this where people could ply their trade. And now, seen all around the world, it's a different thing entirely. And I'm here to make that better for you." More applause comes around. You get a "Silas Jennings" chant going around. After they calm down, Silas moves to a stand that had been put out before the show went on the air. It says, "I am here to make this product the best damn product it can be. And that includes introducing something that is very near and dear to my heart. When Bertie brought me in," you get a few shouts from the people who know from online who Bertie is. "She wanted me to do something big, something that the promotion had never done. And I thought the best way to make my mark would be to introduce a new title belt that would be crowned at our first pay-per-view event, the Clash at the Coliseum." And he removes a cloth to reveal a new title belt. Clash at the Coliseum will feature this promotion's first open weight title. And I can't think of any better place than for the stars of this company to fight over that belt in the Coliseum. A 10,000 seat arena that is worthy of this company's first pay-per-view event. And it is at this point that Alex Armstrong's music hits. It's very hard rock in its aesthetic. Has a similar riff to like an off-brand Back in Black. Alex comes to the ring standing 6'7", 265, black hair with a streak of red on one side, a streak of white on the other. Long hair that goes down to almost the center of their back. An impressive physique, and Alex is somebody that is known in the promotion. Has had a few championship opportunities, but has never quite captured the big one. And it is at this point when Alex is looking to capture their first gold in the promotion. Alex comes out and asks for a separate microphone from Silas. I can't believe that we are lucky enough to be in the presence of a former world champion, a former 5-time world champion. Thank you, Silas Jennings, for everything you have done for this business. Get rounds of applause at that. But it's about time for me to make my mark. And I am ready to plant my flag at the top of the hill and be crowned the inaugural internet champion. Is it about that time when we hear...
It's absolutely that time when our stable music, what we decide on? Damn from Kendrick.
I think we went the instrumental for Humble.
Starts, but then it cuts to my music, and he's like, "Mark your flag. You act like you already won this thing." As I come walking out with my crew next to me, and I'm like, "Man, I can't believe that." I mean, we got the great Silas here, right? You know, the greatest man of all time, his hometown, Memphis, and all that. You know, though he left us in the dust to go chase bigger things and forget about this. And now he wants to come back and say that he's here to help promote this. And then what does he do? And I start walking down towards the ramp aggressively. He's like, what does he do? Does he bring in the highest, most octane flying mother that on this side of the Mississippi? No, he doesn't. He brings somebody who's almost become the most highest and flyest one out there several times, but has never been able to close the championship. And though I am new and I have not been proven, everybody's seen you. Everybody's seen this. Is it not time for Memphis in this company to have something a little bit better, a better show? And I can't see nothing better than me, my people, and that belt around my chest. Sure as hell doesn't need to be around yours. And he gets he hops into the over, he just does the rope pull over, and he's like, so please, for all of our mercies, let's not promote you. I believe that myself would be a better promotion for this championship. Don't you think, Mr. This is outside the player. Cyrus, what's his name?
Silas.
I mean, come on now. Somebody like me. I mean, look at this crowd. I don't know if they're booing or cheering at all. I mean,
We'll find out that in a second.
But yeah, and I just and I'm going in and I'm just like, so just man, and he puts his hands on his shoulder. He's like, do us a favor and just sit this one out and let the new blood show it how it's supposed to be done. Okay. And he just does that little tap on his shoulder and just, I guess, waits for the crowd's reaction on that.
Okay.
Speech.
So let's find out who the crowd is cheering versus booing for. You reference Memphis directly, so you will get a +1 for the cheat heat. And you'll be rolling against Alex's promo.
Okay.
This is plus look.
I got a +6.
Okay.
Ooh.
Alex did well, but not that well. So
Is that a crit? I don't know how crits work in this.
there are technically crits in the system until later on, but you beat it. That's what matters.
Yes. If we're coming up with the Pomer off the fly, I feel pretty good about that one.
And you do have that video package that plays as you were coming down of the new decor for the Memphis Pyramid.
Oh, I can't wait for this conversation at the end of this. He's gonna be pissed, but it worked. Cool. So I got a 13 total with that +1.
Fantastic. So, what you are going to be able to do is, let's see, you have 4 options.
All right.
You could make creative book you in a match, which you're already in the tournament, so that one doesn't make too much sense to me.
Okay.
You could add a stipulation to a relevant match. They come out to respond to your promo. Your promo is in response to them.
Right.
Or you can gain 1 heat with the subject of your promo.
Oh, it's got to be heat, right? That's kind of the thing that we're going for the story, right?
Yeah. And since you got 10 plus, you get to pick 2.
I'll take a heat. And can I have it in reserve? Can I have a thing in reserve? like maybe we're in the middle of a promo, like down the match, and then he comes in and cuts in on mine.
I will say, if you like, you could choose to add a stipulation to the finals match.
Okay. And how would stipulations work? Would that be like a ladders match, or
You would be able to pick whatever stipulation you so choose.
The cheesy one as a heel would you could throw some no DQ on that later, which helps guarantee your victory.
do I? Okay, so there is that. I also love the idea of two big guys having a tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Yeah, I mean that's also a no DQ match, so you're fine there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like-
Okay, then yeah, I think that's what I want. I want that stipulation in the final match to be a ladders, chairs, and tables.
TLC match. Tables, ladders,
TLC match. I love
Okay.
that. The Dudley Boys
So-
were like one of my favorite wrestling groups. So
Fair enough. As part of your promo, you will get a TLC final encounter where the belt to be awarded will be hung, suspended over the ring, and the first person to reach the top of the ladder gets the belt.
I love that. I'm so here for this story.
And you have the crowd on your side whenever this goes down. And Alex delivers a crack of a headbutt. You are impressed because, peek behind the curtain, you're not making contact with most moves. But the way that Alex does it reminds you of a certain big red monster who had a scintillating uppercut at one point.
Yeah. No. So I think I just do one of these stumbles, and that's the cue for everyone to jump in, pretty much. So, and then while they're in the midst of doing that, I'm gonna start making my way over to the top rope.
Fair enough. So, but
I was gonna say, what do we need to roll for this?
let's take a look here. You would go ahead, since this is out of a match, I still love the idea of you rolling for your finisher in this promo off. So you can go ahead and roll as you normally would, which it's a modifier of 0 with it.
Okay. Got a 7.
Okay. All right. So you have a choice of gaining +1 to momentum or gaining +1 heat with your opponent.
We got to go for the +1 heat, right?
Yeah.
Make it +2.
Yeah,
Fair.
nice.
It'll actually be a +3 heat.
Okay.
The reason being that you already, because of your anti-hero trait, get to act as the opposing, and you start out with +1 heat if you are opposite face heel.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you have +3 heat with
You are
Alex Armstrong.
building very well. That's a very good build to that final match eventually.
Yes. Okay. You all are standing tall to end off the opening segment of this broadcast. A couple of things to note. There is the first match of the Internet Championship happens during this broadcast. Diamond Rob Stark ends up taking out one of the Kai siblings. The Kai siblings are tag team champions. They were moving in the internet tournament. The other match of note that happens before other things occur is Alice Jackson moving on against what is effectively an enhancement talent. With a big tournament like this, you're thinking that there's 16 people. Sometimes you're only going to have maybe 12 stars, maybe less than that. One of those less than that is the person that Alice Jackson beats. There also is an odd occurrence in somebody who is termed a jobber moves on in the first round. And I'm sure that won't come back and be talked about later on.
No, of course not.
Why would a jobber getting a surprise win turn into a thing?
After a few matches in the beginning of the show, it comes time for what is kind of billed as the main heart of the card. The first match being a grudge match, but also a ranked match between Sam Spade Bowman and Lumberjack Lambda. So, you hear the regular shuffling of the cards that happens when any of the suits come out. But Sam isn't coming out of normal accord. It looks like Sam has a foot injury that is suggested to have been the result of a particular faction doing some backstage work. What you all know is that Sam actually suffered an injury in the match that you had 2 months ago. And this is his way of getting written off so he can recover from a minor fracture. All of the suits seem to be going down. So, it is with that in mind that we will start off the match between Lumberjack Lambda and Sam Spade Bowman. It starts out with a small exchange, but it ends up going back to a place that it went in the previous match, where you kind of have a chop off.
I was just gonna say, are we exchanging chops again?
Yeah.
Nice.
Starting off right where you right where you ended last time. So what I'd like to do is have you roll plus body for this chop battle.
Gotta remember what my modifier is.
Body.
Oh, the number that I had for it.
Oh.
Uh-oh. 5.
Ah. So it looks like from the off that
Bless you.
Sam is starting to get the better of you.
Yep.
However, let's take a look here.
And I guess since during our altercation at the social media event,
Mhm.
kind of played it cool-ish, I guess, and let him kind of drive that altercation, I'm perfectly fine with him kind of taking control now, just to, I guess, continue that he's still heated from that altercation, and he's still like, there's no security, there's nobody that can stop me from coming after you.
Fair. That makes total sense. There is a point, though, after a brief flurry of blows, where you end up getting an opening. And I will let you go ahead and roll body again as you take control.
So what does this opening look like?
It would be a run to the ropes where Sam takes a bit of a stumble and ends up against the ropes, not quite standing tall,
Mm-hmm.
but he will stand and walk back towards you, and at that point, you have your opening.
All right. So if he's kind of slowing down, I'm gonna try and let's see. I'll try and stay away from the leg for now. I'll trying to remember which of my little cheat sheet.
I would say if you want to go for either of your strikes, they would work in this situation.
Either of my strikes. Yeah. I'd say, yeah, if we're on opposite sides, I'll come at him with a lariat.
Okay.
Lariato.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. 11.
Nice. Okay.
I'll take that control back.
Yeah. You are able to get control in the situation. And as a result, you will gain +1 momentum and retain control.
Perfect.
So you are showcasing your physical strength as you pull a big lariat, knocking Sam down. And actually, the way that Sam bumps, it's like he's rolling to one side as he falls and getting closer to the ropes to bring himself back up.
If I see him going towards the ropes, could I get him with a boot and try and knock him out of the ring?
Oh yeah. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, so
Kind of-
I'll kind of play into his rolling to kind of kick him and propel him out onto the floor.
Fair enough. So go ahead and make that body roll again.
That's a 9.
Okay. So, question at this point, would you like to gain +1 momentum, or would you like to retain control while you move to the outside?
I'll add 1 to momentum and build
Okay.
that up.
Then during the beatdown on the outside, there's one moment where you go to deliver a chop and you end up making contact with the ring post instead.
Okay.
The
But-
actual hardest part of the ring.
Yes,
Yeah.
the actual
Ugh.
hardest part of the ring, the post. But you work your way back in, and Sam is going to go for a signature power bomb as he's working through the various strikes. And he ends up with an 8 overall. So he's going to gain 1 momentum, and though he hits that, you have a situation where you're coming back up, and if you would like to hit a move, you certainly could.
Let's see. I think as I'm coming up, this is when I'm going to start working the legs.
Okay. Fair enough. Working on the actual injured part of the body,
Mhm.
and kind of really healing it up, so to speak.
Yeah, so definitely get him either off of his feet or keep him on his feet in a position where I've got control of that leg.
Okay. So the way that you are focusing on this storyline part of the match, what I'm going to have you do is roll plus heat. And you do have 4 heat with the suits after last week.
Oh,
Or
because this is
after
the
last episode.
got it. Because this is the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'd make a normal 2d6 roll, but you're adding 4.
Okay. Uh, 11.
Nice.
Nice.
So you were able to maintain control in this situation, and Sam is not putting up any offense. It is up to you at this point to go ahead and do your finishing move. So would you describe what you go to hit on
Introduce
Spade?
a new submission finish. You got the leg. You worked it.
Huh. Let's see. I'd say. All right. So I'm gonna start moving him around the ring, kind of volleying him off the ropes, kind of get a good movement going. Before kind of nailing him with my finisher, which I've affectionately titled Timber, and knocking him with a discus clothesline.
Fantastic. So you do the big spin around and go to take his head off. Roll a 2d6 flat.
10.
Okay. You hit your finisher clean and get the pin. You gain 1 audience.
Woo! Love that.
And you win your match against Sam Spade Bowman.
Nice. I'm going to for fun style play with the audience. As he's kind of laying there, kind of getting down on one knee with my other leg, just kind of resting it on that injury, and kind of miming the whole action of taking an axe, putting it on your shoulder, kind of signing out to the audience, picking up the metaphorical axe, swinging it around a little bit before stepping up and walking away.
At some point, we'll just have to get your character like an axe handle to use as a weapon.
Oh, for sure.
Fair enough.
I mean, we could put it on a pole for a match, right? That's the way that works. You put everything on a pole.
Right. Yeah. Everything on a pole, even your Judy Bagwells.
Mm-hmm. Those go on forklifts.
Ah, fair.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that whole match and how that played out. That was a good one. That was good.
Definitely went well overall.
We're getting there. He's picking up his personality a little bit.
Fair enough.
I also say we're doing really well getting that heel aspect of our group really coming out in the show.
Yeah. Definitely love that. And after a few more matches, it's the main event of the evening. We've got Randall the Hydra Harrison versus Jordan Rodriguez, the Steel Pitbull.
So, question for my 2 people in my stable: who wants to second for me, and who wants to do the ring announcer job?
I gotta think of a ring announcer name.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I want to be your second. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But I can also be the ring announcer because I have a name.
Oh, if you have a name, then go for it, and I can workshop it for next time.
Yeah, I'll be the ring announcer. The ring announcer for tonight would be Jebediah Jones from Mississippi. He's from Mississippi. He came on up here to watch his boy Otis and the new stable being born tonight, and he's here to watch the Hydra do some technical wrestling tonight, folks. That's why we here.
I love that.
Sounds good.
And of course, you have Freddie English also helping out in the 2-person booth.
Sounds great. On that note, Randall is completely new ring gear. I mean, completely new from Memphis. He's been wearing it in Japan for the last couple of weeks, and it's he went with the old Suzuki-gun jumpsuit style suit to come out to, and does the Naito like removal of gear while in the ring, very like kind of dismissive of the opponent. And because he's got Jack seconding him, like he's gonna have like Jack pick him up and put him on the ring apron, because like Jack is big enough to do that, and he's gonna play it up very mob boss style with that idea of like, this is the younger person in my stable paying their respects, so they're gonna put me up on the ring apron because I don't have to fucking get myself up there.
Fair enough.
So he's gonna have Jack lift him up on the ring apron, then do the boot scrape before he gets in. But he's gonna take the time to get out of the jumpsuit. That whole like killing time before the match starts. Coming out to new entrance music, got the very beginning of Humble, then spliced into MOP's Cold as Ice, which is very not a nice song. Just running around talking about being ruthless. So that's his vibe right now. He's much slower pace. Like he was always a technical wrestler, but he always had kind of that little more frantic pace when he was working face. Like that quick, like now he's very methodical. It's very clear methodical pacing for how he does his new heelness.
Jordan will come out as well with the golden black. And it's not a very like big frills entrance. It's mostly just getting to the ring, getting in the face of his opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And in the case of if I think he probably would have been the first to walk on, being that Randall is more familiar in this area.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been in the corner, kind of getting ready to lift himself up. And you see that while Jordan is not somebody that has a lot of frills, he does have a lot of intensity.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he is only like 5'9", he also is very wide.
Mm-hmm.
A barrel-chested wrestler at 225.
There you go.
So,
The universal question, is he smart or is he silly? Is he wearing knee pads or not?
He is definitely wearing it's one of the like full boots up, like he has the kick pads.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But also has a knee brace on his left knee.
Fair enough. Good. Like, don't be a silly person and not wear knee pads. That's the silliness. Don't do that.
Yeah. Knee pads are included.
Knee pads are your friends. Don't not wear them.
So, the match starts out and it's a feeling out process. You two have never been in the ring together. But what is something that as the match is starting, you notice about Jordan's style that you didn't necessarily anticipate?
Probably how high impact he is. The way you've described him makes sense, but you said he's very intense. So he's like, I'm going to say a foreboding name. He has very Wild Pegasus feel. And if you know who Wild Pegasus is, then you'll get that reference. So I don't have to say, things, but I think long enough time has passed and more research has been done, but he sounds very Wild Pegasus-y.
Fair. Definitely something that you get the chops across. You get several of the attempts at an overhand chop that doesn't quite land. One that hits the turnbuckle pad, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
They are out here swinging. I thought this was supposed to be a wrestling match, not some boxing match. When we gonna see the technicality from these intense brothers and sisters here?
That is a fair point. I do hope that none of those closed fists land, because here at Championship Wrestling Memphis, If you have a closed fist, that is an immediate disqualification. Maybe Jordan didn't get the tape.
Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake.
So after that, I'll say that there is a sequence where you can take control of the match. How do you approach the feeling out process?
I would say he approaches it via a lot of, what's the best way to put it? A lot of like chain wrestling is probably the best way to say he would approach the feeling out process. It would be a lot of, oh, okay, we're going here, we're doing this. Okay, we're doing this, we're doing that. It's going to be, he is going to get into those chain wrestling spots. That is his goal, is how he's going to feel out. Not a lot of test of strength. He's going to avoid that, but he's definitely going to do a lot of the chain wrestling maneuvers, like a lot of catch stand style to start off with. And then if Jordan is silly enough to like accidentally give him a limb, he's going to take advantage of it. Given they've already kind of worked the agreed upon finish, if that goes sideways, we'll deal with that when it happens. We'll deal with that when it happens. But like right now, it's very. He's gonna go to the agreed upon finish, and a lot of the feeling out process is going to be counter and chain wrestling.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll plus work to see how well you maintain control in that?
Sounds good. Oh, I'll get my dice back out. I'm going to use the tiny dice. That is only a 9.
Okay. So it's up to you if you want to gain momentum or retain control at this point.
I'll gain momentum rather than maintain control.
Okay.
Again, this is a first time meeting, feeling out process. The two of them going back and forth makes complete sense.
Yeah, 100%. So it's at one point he is able to get an ankle pick on you that catches you a bit off guard. From there, you're moving into a next phase of the match.
Sounds great.
When this is the first moment that you kind of set up the story of Jordan going for that rolling German. Gets the ankle pick on you and goes trying to get that deadlift German style. And you pop out into a like crossbody position to get a pinfall on him from there.
Oh, like the goes in that crossbody into like the pinning combination.
Yeah.
With a quick kick out. Yeah.
So you are able to get control of the match from that point after this first attempt at the rolling German. What do you do once you have that control back?
I'm going to start working the hands, actually.
Okay.
Do some joint manipulation, because I see that he is trying to work this He's clearly trying to work a German, harder to do with no hands.
You know what? That's a fair point.
So if we're going to tell the story of the rolling German / chaos theory / big German spot, then it's then the big on that is I'm going to work. Can he get his grip together to make it look good by the end of it? So that would be the next thing I would do.
Okay.
Boys, here tonight, we are just looking at all of this wonderful technique. We have already had one attempt at a pin in a German rolling suplex. Yes, I'm looking this up as we go. Sorry.
Hey, we love research around here, right?
I was like, what is a German roll? I don't know what that is. I was like, oh, okay, I know what. I got it now.
For the reference, a rolling German is when somebody comes out of a rolling position into a German suplex.
Yeah,
Also, sometimes called a chaos theory German suplex.
gotcha.
Either way,
Mhm.
you are able to take control, get the joints manipulated. Do you do any particular like a double wrist lock or anything of
Oh,
that?
I go full British style finger snap because it's a great spot, and I'm working heel now, and it's a great heel
Fair.
spot. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's really painless. It just sounds really hard. Somebody pops their knuckles right out. It looks like they split the hand, like they're using some of these fingers to split in a turkey bone. So it's a snap motion. It's really awful looking. It's really not that painful if done properly at all, right? Correctly.
I think that feels like you could do plus work, but maybe a plus heat roll would be more.
Sure. You want plus heat or plus real?
That's fair. Yeah, go ahead. Go with the plus real.
Ooh, nice. That is a 10 with my plus real.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So it is up to you. You can pick two.
Mhm.
You injure your opponent. The match is booked to end in a no contest. Your opponent loses one audience as you break the illusion of their toughness, or you gain one audience as the audience sees you as a legit badass.
I'm going to gain one audience.
Okay. You do get one more. Because you get two when you get
What was
10
the other
points. Opponent loses audience, injury, or no contest.
I'm going to make it look like an injury.
Okay. So from this point, you've got one injury on Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Working the hand feeds into that finish we've discussed already, so I think it looks good.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan is going to at least try to get back into it. He'll do one of those. God, I'm trying to think of the names. Where he'll pull you into the ropes, almost heelish.
Yeah, desperation, pull into the ropes maneuver.
Yeah,
that makes the sense.
But you, since you got a 10, do maintain control. So, despite him doing that maneuver, what do you do as he is battling to get feeling back in his hand?
I'm actually going to slide under the ropes as he throws me into it, not meeting them. And then when he goes to reach for me, I'm gonna go for the Suzuki classic of the armbar across the ropes.
Okay, all right. I think that feels like a plus work.
All right.
Look at this technique, and he's going for the armbar.
That is only a 9 with a plus work, so I will.
Hey, 9 is still a success.
Oh, okay. I thought that 9 was a partial.
I mean, it's a partial success.
Yeah.
So it's up to you if you want to maintain control of the match or if you want to gain +1 momentum.
I'll take the momentum again.
Okay. So where does that put you on momentum?
That's 3.
Okay. And Jordan has not been building as much. He is going to go for a second time when you get back in the ring. He'll go again into that well for the rolling German. He does not hit it again.
Okay, we're building what we said we were going to do. Slow. He's doing the spots. We're making it work good.
Yeah. He
Tried
does
it again, y'all, but didn't work out.
does get +1 momentum. So he's going to spend 2 momentum and go in for one of those like overhand chop battles, trying to fight through the pain, even though he's hitting with the hand that was hurt.
Oh,
And that'll be a
bad move.
+1 heat.
Mm-hmm.
It is on to you at this point. You will be gaining control depending on what you would like to do from here.
I think if he's gonna go chop battle, I think we're gonna go chop battle into a little bit, and then once he like leans back from the injured hand, I'm gonna do the classic heelish foot stomp.
Okay.
Like just straight stomp on his foot, and when he goes in one, I'm gonna pick the other leg and roll through into a leg bar, and we're gonna go right into working that now.
Okay.
Because I've clearly injured the hand. It's time to start dissecting him.
That makes total sense. Let's see. Go ahead then. It sounds like you're going back for another work roll.
Sure.
Actually, no, that is be a little bit strange, but I think plus look might be the right way because you're kind of stunting on him at this point.
Yeah, no problem. Ooh, that is only with plus that'll get me an 8 with my look. I rolled a 7, so I'm at an 8.
So you still have that partial success where you can get +1 to momentum or retain control.
I'll take the momentum. It's going very well for me at this point in time, and
yeah, definitely. You're getting a lot of hits in, and you've got psychological control of the match for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. He has 1 momentum left. So, in the middle of everything, it's going to be after a whip into the ring post. Jordan is going to go for a kind of like a cannonball senton. He whips you into the corner of the ring and then does the kick out of the foot to drop you down to sitting position. And then he'll run back and do this cannonball senton. That's the first time that he's gotten a success on that.
Nice.
Let's see. From there, he will take +1 momentum, but you will get control back after that. You all are at 2 heat at this point. If you get to 4, that's when you can get an additional audience by the end of the match.
Yeah.
But after this cannonball senton, how is it that you get back control?
I think he goes for another one, and I'm going to roll out of the way, and then go up and leave my feet, which I rarely do, for a quick double stomp.
Fair enough. Being that is an athletic maneuver, Go ahead and make a plus body roll.
Ooh. All right. I don't think that's going to go super well for me. Well, that's a cocked die. Maybe it will go all right. So 10, so 8, because I do not have great body.
Nice. Still a success. Do you have... Where are you? Because you can...
I'm about to dump some momentum for heat, is what I'm about to do.
Fair. Okay. So you've got an additional momentum there.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to maintain control and then dump momentum.
Yeah, I'm going to maintain control this time and dump the 4 momentum I have for some heat here.
Fair. Dumping all 4?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and dump all 4. I think it's just going to be that series of quick chain wrestling into blows, into stagger, into more chain wrestling moment. Like, just that classic, if you haven't tapped, I'm switching submissions every 6 seconds moment.
Fair.
So like the double stomp, immediately roll through into an arm bar. If he doesn't tap, roll that into a triangle. If he doesn't tap, roll him around and into a rear naked choke. Just that very quick succession of like attempted submissions, which makes me look good, and he doesn't tap out because that's not the play. So he starting to look good because that's part of his gimmick.
Man, let me tell you, we're gonna see our competition here have their very first submission. I don't know, man. The Hydra's really putting the work in on them.
This is not something that you anticipate every day, even if it is a main event caliber match. I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to contact the Wrestling Observer because this deserves a second look. We are at the 15-minute mark, and they do not seem close to tiring.
No, this is a match of all matches. To be expected from our wrestlers in Memphis.
Indeed, this is the kind of caliber of match that you always get here on Championship Wrestling Memphis. So, from there, you've dumped the 4 in, and you are dry on momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
But I have control, so I still get to roll.
Yes, you do get to roll. So, coming out of this sequence, how is it that you maintain control, and what spot do you move into?
I actually move into a quick crucifix pin. Like, if he doesn't submit, I go into that quick crucifix pin because you've just had to not submit for a whole lot, and moving right to a pin attempt looks great.
Fair. Go ahead and roll. That'll be plus... I'll let you choose either plus work or plus real.
I'll take plus real. I will roll a 10 with my plus real.
Nice. So you gain 1 momentum and you maintain control of the match. It looks like you are getting to a point where you are just outmaneuvering Jordan. Like, this is somebody who is used to a decent work rate, but going on an extended match like this is really testing his limits. So where do you move after you get the 2 count on the crucifix pin?
Legitimately, I'm actually going to give him the spot where he gets the German in. And then I was just going to use my fighting spirit move to pop up with the 2 momentum, because use fighting spirit to get my momentum, and then burn it to take it home with the pinning combinations into the pin, like we discussed. Okay. I'm going to do the match as we booked it. I'm not going into business for myself. It looks good, especially if he's starting to get kind of winded. Like, I'm going to have him take it home with the German and then use fighting spirit and then move into the end of the match.
Fair enough. So I think we'll go ahead and give the roll to see how well the German goes off. And it does. It's enough that he does gain the momentum, but he is not able to keep control. So after the break, doing the rope break on the 2 count, he goes to ask the official if it was 3. At that point, it's up to you. How do you want to go for a win?
I'm gonna go into the classic pinning combination where you do the roll back and forth, and then I'm gonna do the crossing the legs. Actually, I'm gonna steal Zack Sabre Jr.'s roll up. I don't remember exactly what that one's called. Yeah, with the bridge and the arms crossed.
Yeah. Okay. That's fantastic. Go ahead. You have been booked to win the match, so go ahead and make your 2d6 roll.
All right. Am I adding anything to it or just flat?
It's flat.
All right. 9. This is where I will ask my announcer to help boost me to a real success, though, because that's the announcer can do.
That's fair. Okay. How do you want to, if you want to push this over, get over what he is doing? Like, it's an innovative pin, that's for sure.
Explain what the pin is one more time.
Where it is, it's kind of like a bridging pinning combination, but he's kind of up on his head instead of being up on his hands.
Well, I have been doing this announcement thing for the last probably 10 years of my life, and I've been all over from one side to the other, but I've never seen a pin like this, and I can only expect that the Hydra has been practicing this for years and wanted to bust it out tonight for this very important match. And boy, let me tell you, it's one of the greatest pins I have ever seen in my life.
And with that, you get the 3 count. You get a clean victory over Jordan Rodriguez. How do you act after the match?
I don't go like full heel and kick him out of the ring, but I will look right at the camera and like, one down, Don. I'm on my way to you. Basically, like, one down. I'm gonna keep coming for you. I'm gonna push that like brief moment of you get in the ring after you win to push that angle that I brought up last game.
It's at that point when Don Dallas's music is going to hit, and he will come out and stand on the entranceway, and the closeout of this particular show is Don Dallas standing there.
There you go.
And with that, we will bring this episode of Championship Wrestling Memphis to a close. Unfortunately, Amber couldn't be with us tonight, but hopefully we'll see their bright and smiling face back here next episode. Let's go ahead and go around. Let's try to remember the order that I did things in last time. And start with Casey. Tell us who you are, what you're doing, what you got scheduled.
Oh, how y'all doing? My name is Casey Patterson, Tabletop Trucking 78 on Instagram. Also TikTok, but we don't know how long that's going to last. Damn old people. You can find me here also back here on Friday running Mass Effect for a new group of people. Should be pretty fun. And I played Otis tonight, and got to do some shit talking and got to do some announcements. It was pretty fun. So yeah, you can find me back here Friday on at High Shelf, and yeah, just look for me anywhere that social media doesn't suck, which is not a lot of places.
There's not a lot of places that fit that bill. No.
So far, Blue Sky's about the only one.
Fair enough. Jason, tell us who you are, what you're doing.
Gotta remember what my blue sky is. Because I know I have one. I know it's there. I know it exists. Okay. Hi, I'm Jason. I do a little bit of everything all the time. You can find me on social media, J_Sun LaRock or Blue Sky, just JSON LaRock, because I'm original and it's easy to remember because it's just my name minus the A in Jason, because I don't know. But definitely check out all the stuff that I'm working on. I'm doing a lot with the Experience Productions to kind of get back into the streaming schedule, I guess. There's some stuff that's going on with I forget what I can't remember what the name of. I think it's Gaming It Out. I can't remember. I'm also coming back to do solo streams in April. I'm gonna be on streaming on Sundays around lunchtime. I'll be posting more things on social media as we get closer to April. But look out for those things and definitely come hang out with me on Twitch.
Thank you so much. And bringing up the rear, our main event talent of this evening, Paul. Tell us what you're up to.
I do. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul. I'm back. I'm Unapologetically Black. You can find me at Apochromatic Unlimited, second and fourth Mondays, running Esper Genesis, the Mass Effect themed game. It's pretty super fun. It's the Wraith Incidents. We're on our first part, and if it goes well, we'll be doing more. You can also find Taylor from HSC over there, as well as Owen, who appears on this channel and just did Off the Shelf, if I remember correctly, is in that game, being awesome. You can find me every Thursday on Apochromatic doing some video game stuff. Ashton and Max are teaching me how to play Genshin. It's an experience. And we are also trying out new games, which is Taylor's new obsession of Nightingale every other Thursday right now. But we've got some other stuff ready in the pipeline. Nice. You can find me here clearly on this game and a couple other places on the internet, but I don't think there's anything jumping out right now. Those are the main projects I've got going on. Apparently I have to get all of my have to do an off the shelf about wrestling, apparently, is now what I'm being told by everyone.
No, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, look, David and I just have a birthday together. I'll be like, hey, we need a whole hour of Cincy telling us about wrestling. It's gonna be amazing, and we're gonna crack a whole new genre of people. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. You'll find a lot of wrestling fans love tabletop RPGs. It lets them explore things.
I recently learned that I would be capable of doing an off-the-shelf on the longest story plotline of AEW, from its inception to its highest point.
I'd love that.
Literally,
I would just teach either you'll get this deep dig or not. I would just teach everybody math from Michigan. That's how I would handle this entire situation. And either you get that joke or you don't. And if you don't, it's one of the most infamous promos of all time. That's the long and short of that situation.
Just explain Steiner math.
Math from Michigan. That's what I know. I know that for a fact.
Anyhow, I am or have been your creative for this evening, Synthetic 20 on Blue Sky, Asynthetic 20 on Twitter if you're still in the dumpster fire. I am going to be in a number of places this week. On Wednesday, all of these I think are at 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern time. I will be doing the Power Rangers RPG over on Bardic Inspiration Network. My little android Power Ranger just got emotions for the first time, and they have started to have panic attacks because emotions are a lot. So if you want to see how that turns out, go over to Bardic Inspiration Network for that. The next day on Singularity Roleplay, I will be playing Heart of Darkness, the Alien RPG, in which I have attained my final form, I am a cat in that game because I died and came back as a cat. So if you want to see cat shenanigans, then that is the place to be. If you want to see superhero shenanigans, then I am playing the Nova playbook in a game of masks over on Nerds with Dice, where I'm a chancellor on Saturday. So very much looking forward to getting back into that. I think that is everything from us here. Do we have a raid target?
Oh, let's see. Do we got raids? Anybody?
Okay.
No?
I guess I'll allow it this time.
I guess, yes. We'll go over and raid our friends at Lost Caravan.
I mean,
Just
you must
have-
understand I have a long-standing beef with Hoop, so I'm very wary about any Lost Caravan raids, as our rivalry is eternal.
That's fair. Go, just have fun.
We will be merciful this time. Yep, we are raiding. Victory.
There you go.
All right.
And we're out.
Awesome. We're out.
Yay. Everyone have fun?
That was good. That was good.
I didn't realize I totally did the thing that, like, you said you didn't want to do, and I apologize about that because I realized that mid setting up the match that I'm like, I assume I'm going over in my home territory over my new feud, but you totally wanted to book those later. I just made a weird assumption. Whoops.
No, I actually think that was